Jai Gurudev, thank you for joining us today to discuss the Astavakra Gita. This text is known for its profound teachings, but is often described as self-contradictory. Can you help us understand why this book seems so contradictory? Certainly, the Astavakra Gita is indeed full of apparent contradictions, and this is intentional. It reflects the nature of truth and the mind's relationship with it. Truth, in its essence, transcends the dualities and contradictions of ordinary logic. This can make the teaching seem paradoxical, but it is precisely this nature that leads us towards deeper realization. You mentioned that the nature of the mind is peculiar in how it deals with desires and possessions. Can you elaborate on this? The mind craves something, but once it attains it, the interest wanes. This is a fundamental trait of the mind. It is constantly oscillating between desires and dissatisfaction. When the mind gets what it desires, it quickly loses interest because it cannot sustain itself in the present moment. It always seeks novelty, which leads to a cycle of craving and frustration. Gurudev, you mentioned that true liberation involves transcending the mind's illusions. What are some practical steps or techniques that one can use to achieve this in their daily lives? Practical steps towards transcending the mind's illusions include regular meditation, self inquiry, and mindfulness. Meditation helps quiet the mind and connect with the deeper self. Self inquiry involves questioning the nature of one's thoughts and desires, leading to a greater understanding of their transient nature. Mindfulness allows you to stay present and observe the mind's patterns without getting entangled in them. Together, these practices cultivate a state of awareness and detachment essential for transcending the mind's illusions. How does one begin with self inquiry? What kind of questions should they ask themselves? Self inquiry begins with asking simple yet profound questions like: who am I? What is the nature of my desires? And what is the true source of my happiness? These questions encourage introspection and lead to a deeper understanding of oneself. It is important to approach self inquiry with a sense of openness and curiosity rather than seeking specific answers. Allow the process to unfold naturally, revealing insights that transcend the superficial layers of the mind. In dealing with everyday challenges, how can one maintain the sense of lively emptiness you described earlier? Maintaining a sense of lively emptiness amidst everyday challenges involves staying centered and connected to the present moment. Practice gratitude and acceptance, recognizing that every experience is a part of life's unfolding. Engage in regular spiritual practices such as meditation, pranayama, breathing exercises, and yoga to cultivate inner stability. These practices anchor you in the present and help you navigate challenges with a sense of calm and equanimity, allowing the fullness of emptiness to be experienced even in difficult times. You spoke about the mind creating constructs like heaven and hell. Can you provide an example of how this manifests in everyday life? Consider a situation where someone receives a promotion at work. For one person, this may feel like heaven, a fulfillment of their aspirations and a source of joy. For another, it could feel like hell due to increased responsibilities and stress. The same external event is perceived differently based on the individual's mental constructs and expectations. This demonstrates how the mind creates subjective realities, labeling experiences as heaven or hell based on its conditioning and beliefs. How can we shift our perspective to see beyond these mental constructs? Shifting perspective involves recognizing the transient nature of all experiences and the subjective lens through which we view them. Practice detachment by observing your reactions and questioning the underlying beliefs that shape them. Cultivate a sense of equanimity and understanding that all experiences, whether perceived as positive or negative, are temporary and arise from the mind's conditioning. By developing this awareness, you can transcend the dualities created by the mind and perceive the underlying unity and truth. The concept of detachment often seems challenging for many people. How can one practice detachment without becoming indifferent or disconnected? Detachment does not mean indifference or disconnection. It means engaging fully in life while maintaining a sense of inner freedom. It is about participating in experiences with awareness and presence without getting entangled in the outcomes or identifying with them. Practice compassion and empathy, but also recognize the impermanence of all situations. This balanced approach allows you to be involved and caring without losing your sense of self or inner peace. How can the teachings of the Astavakra Gita help in developing relationships and interactions with others? The teachings of the Astavakra Gita can profoundly impact relationships by fostering a sense of unconditional acceptance and understanding. When you recognize that each person is a manifestation of the same consciousness and that their actions are influenced by their mind's conditioning, you develop a greater empathy and patience. This understanding helps in letting go of judgments and expectations, leading to more harmonious and authentic interactions. It encourages you to see beyond the superficial differences and connect with the deeper essence of each individual. You have shared many insights about the mind and its illusions. How does one balance the practical demands of life with the pursuit of spiritual understanding as taught in the Astavakra Gita? Balancing practical demands with spiritual understanding involves integrating the teachings into everyday actions and decisions. Approach life with a sense of mindfulness and purpose, aligning your actions with your deeper values and principles. Create a routine that includes time for spiritual practices such as meditation and self reflection. Embrace each task as an opportunity for growth and learning, viewing challenges as chances to practice detachment and inner strength. This integration ensures that spirituality is not separate from life but a guiding force within it. Gurudev, for someone new to the Astavakra Gita, what advice would you give them to start their journey with this text? For someone new to the Astavakra Gita, I would suggest approaching it with an open heart and a curious mind. Don't be discouraged by its seeming contradictions. Instead, reflect on its teachings and how they resonate with your own experiences. Read it slowly, allowing time for contemplation and introspection. Discuss it with fellow seekers or teachers to gain different perspectives. Most importantly, be patient and gentle with yourself as you explore its depths. The journey with the Astavakra Gita is a gradual unfolding of wisdom that enriches with each reading. Thank you, Gurudev, for illuminating the profound teachings of the Astavakra Gita. Your wisdom and guidance have made these ancient concepts more accessible and relevant to our lives today. It is my pleasure to remember the teachings of the Astavakra Gita are a gateway to discovering the deeper truths of our existence. Keep exploring with sincerity and openness, and the wisdom will reveal itself in beautiful and transformative ways. Jai Gurudev.